Hi, I'm Fran. I work for the residential development sales in London.
Hi Fran, I'm Ed. I'm head of residential sales at Savills in Cambridge.
Well, it's lovely to meet you, and I'm going to ask you a few questions. How has the Cambridge property market changed in the years since you started?
Good question. When I started, it was a market which was incredibly busy, and we used to just put a house onto the market, it would go online, and the phone would ring, and you'd book someone in, and then you'd go to a bidding process, and then you'd end up in sealed bids. And now the market has changed, it's slowed down a little bit, and now we're seeing actually you can deal with people and they can come and see a house, they can like it, they can ask questions, they can go away and come back for a second viewing.
Yeah.
And you get to know them, you get to build relationships with people.
What advice would you give someone wanting to sell in a difficult market?
I think first and obviously price. Get your price right and it should sell. But I think once you've instructed an estate agent, get them back round and say to them, right, you're my man, you're my woman, you're my firm, you're going to sell my property for me. And ask them what you need to do to make the most of your house. So clear up the drive, paint the front door, mow the lawn, put new flowers in bed, paint walls if you need to. Do the things that you put off for the last 3 or 4 years. Get them done.
Back to basics.
Back to basics. And that should help you sell your house.
Great. How can a seller make their home more valuable?
I think the easiest way of making your home more valuable, and probably the cheapest way of making your home more valuable, would be to add more natural light. So increase the size of your windows, don't necessarily increase the number of windows. Where you've got a window, put in maybe a French door. Everyone says when they walk into a house, they say, I love the feel. What they're actually commenting on really is the natural light.
It makes such a difference.
It makes a massive difference.
What advice would you give a new negotiator when the market enters a difficult cycle?
I would suggest the best advice I can give is to spend your time with people. If you get to know them as a person, why they're moving, what's the most important thing to them in the house, what's the one thing that they will not compromise on, and then make sure that you're the person that phones them when that house is coming on, before it goes online, before it hits the internet. Speak to them and say, I've got the right house for you, it's got what you want and what you need. That will build relationships, build trust. It will break down that barrier between estate agent and buyer, and it will pay huge dividends. And people will buy in any market if the house is right. What they won't buy is what they don't want to buy. I know that sounds like an obvious statement, but people become more critical. They become pickier. Their list of compromises gets reduced massively. And you need to make sure that you're hitting as many of those target requirements, those push buttons, as you possibly can. And they will thank you for it.
Yes. What would you change about the buying and selling process?
Oh, that's really easy. All I want to do is to be copied into emails between solicitors. Where we see a problem starting to come and formulate, we can jump in and say, where can we help? That's all we want to do. We want to facilitate getting a sale through as quickly as we possibly can for both buyer and seller, because that's what they want. You know, they've fallen in love with a property, they want to get into it. They've sold their property, they want to move out of it. It's not difficult.
What's the one thing you have stuck to throughout your career?
I always call people back the day they call me. Pure and simple.
Ed, it was really nice to chat to you. If I ever need to buy a property in Cambridge, I know who to go to.
Thanks, Fran. It was lovely to meet you too. Not really.